and today I have another deck video for you guys. So this deck is, we are now going to the Nilfgaard faction, which is a faction I am really bad at. Honestly, I'm still trying to learn it a little bit. So we are actually going to try and attempt using Vattier for this particular deck. So this will be the Seizing Locks deck. This deck is really great against factions that run tall units. But it's really bad against decks that don't run tall units. Like, for example, if you're taking on other Nilfgaard decks, you're going to do pretty bad because you're not going to get a good steal against with vattier. But if you run against a faction like, let's say, Monsters or Syndicates, sometimes have some pretty big units. That's a pretty good target for vattier. The problem with this particular deck is it's a lot of setup involved. Because you have different combos that are kind of unrelated going at once. You have Assimilate that's going on at once, while at the same time you got the 3 Witchers, which you'll need for that additional lock. And of course, Vattier sort of at the finisher. So this deck can be pretty difficult to play with. Like, I'm not really good at playing this deck. You know, it took me a lot of like retries, like changing around some cards, trying to, you know, balance it out with provisions and everything. In terms of leader ability, like, I could have honestly, like, I thought of first going with Double Cross to sort of support the Assimilate side of things better, but I feel like there was just too many things going on at once. So it's like, this deck is definitely not perfect. Like, definitely there's some room for improvement, just like with all the decks I'm doing. That might be actually what I might do in the future. Like, maybe for 1 month is where I take all the decks that I've made in the past and I revisit them and I try to make them better. So that's probably what I might commit, either maybe a week, like once every 3 weeks I try that, or maybe 1 in every 3 weeks I'll try that maybe, or maybe one week for every month I might try that, or maybe 1 month, you know, where I'm gonna commit some time for sure to revising this decks, of course, just because why not. So we'll just go down the list as usual. So obviously Vattier is the sort of the big man. He's sort of the core, the MVP player for this particular deck, if you can get him to work, of course. Next we got Royal Decree. Decided to run Royal Decree over Mata just because I am running Tactical Decision, so it's like my capabilities of getting out most, if not all, the cards I need are actually pretty high. So I just opted to go for the Royal Decree for that consistency instead of Mata this time. I am running a Yennefer's Invocation in case like my opponent plays a card that I might want to take and use for myself. So yeah, next is Village-of-Forts. Village-of-Forts is good if you want to be able to disrupt your opponent's deck. Honestly, I find Village-of-Forts to be actually... Village-of-Forts can actually be a pretty insane card. Like you'll see in the first game, Village-of-Forts did something absolutely crazy. You guys have to go see the first game for that. But it's absolutely crazy. Like, I think the guy, like, it just feels bad for the guy because I didn't really rig his deck. Like, I didn't make sure that this card ended up being on top. It just happened to come out, and Village-of-Forts just, like, you know, wrecked it, and it absolutely lowered his value. But, like, you know, kudos to him. He did play all the way to the end, so good job. Next, we got Bribery, which is pretty much the best card for our Assimilate package here. We got the 3 Witchers of Letho, Ox, and Seret. We want to make sure we get enough locks going for Vattier to seize, and pretty much for to prevent engines from coming out. So that is what that is there for. We got Swears, of course, which is good for taking out engines and using them for our side of the field, which is pretty nice. We got Meno Cohorn, which gives us some flexibility in wanting to take out either Bribery or Royal Decree, depending on the situation at hand. We got Artorias Vigo, which we can use to create multiple, not multiple, but like 1 extra Assimilate unit maybe, or maybe an extra locking unit. So yeah, that is, or an extra Spy to create more units. Again, this is like 65% Assimilate, 45. That's no, I'm not doing this math right. 35%. Vattier combo. So next we got the Van Morlehem's Cupbearer. In all honesty, I'm really only using Van Morlehem Cupbearer for either the Purify or Assimilate, not so much for the Poison. So you can actually opt to get rid of the Imperial Diviner for maybe a second Imperial Diplomacy for that second create, just because I mainly want to use Van Morlehem Cupbearer for Purify. Of course, you can also get rid of Van Morlehem and put in an Imperial Diplomacy, and then just upgrade and just use those extra 2 points to upgrade something else. So it's like I said, plenty of edits you guys can definitely do. Let me know what you guys' improvements are. We greatly appreciate it. I could implement them into like the revised decks. That is, of course, assuming that the meta doesn't change the complete face of the game, and seeing the trend of how CDPR does their balance patches, and that might not be for a couple months, although, you know, never know. So next we got Glynis, which is the core of all assimilate cards. So she's there for that. Cantarella, again, decent deck disruptor. You can steal a pretty good card from your opponent's side of the field. Again, in the first game, this guy that I played against was just super unlucky. Vilgefortz messed him over, and Cantarella messed him over. And yeah, so Cantarella can be good for that. Petrie's Filter is used to mainly set up vattier. I've mainly been using Petrie's Filter to sort of protect my order units instead of like Fion, just because I feel like Petrie's Filter is sort of harder to predict. Although, of course, if your opponent gets wind of what you're going to be planning on doing, then it's going to be tough to deal with. Of course, that is why this deck would have problems against Nilfgaard, because they're really good at knowing what your cards are in your deck. They can just tell by looking. This is just playing that was the Nilfgaardian Battle Camp, but it's just playing a bunch of chants, so I decided to go ahead and take that out and just change it to something else. Anyway, so moving down the line, we got the Dazbog Runestone, Imperial Diplomacy, both for create cards. Pretty self-explanatory. I put in 1 copy of Assassination for some removal, just in case we need it. We have removal in Seret, potential removal in Seret, Letho, and Bribery, whatever it gets us anyway, and Vilgefortz, so that's why I only went with 1 copy of Assassination. Imperial Diviner, again, for that Purify, like I said, you could opt to get rid of the Cupbearer because this is already doing it for the Cupbearer, plus it's even cheaper in provision, and the power and provision trade-off is just better with Imperial Diviner, honestly. Van Morlem Cupbearer is mainly going to be used for poison, so yeah, like if I were to make an edit, I'd get rid of this, add in this, and with those 2 extra points, you could opt to get rid of Tourney Joust because, like I said, you already have some removal with Vilgefortz, Letho, Seret, and an Assassination, of course. So yeah, you could even have some fun and go with the Elf and Onion Soup, but you know, you could even go with the Trahirn I don't know if that's a V or a U. Vidifir or Udifir? Udifir might sound a little bit better, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'd make that edit. We can edit it right now, actually, while I'm here. We could use... okay. I mean, there's not really so much you could go off of anymore because you've kind of taken most of the create cards. Like, you could go with a soldier for that extra boost, like just for a tall unit for you to play with, even though that doesn't really have any synergy with your deck at all. You could go Summoning Circle for fun, just for that extra create opportunity. You could go with Peter if you're seeing a lot of tall units. So you know, you got options to play with, which is pretty nice. So yeah. So we'll just go with that for now. So going down the list, 2 Duchess's Informants for 2 creates. You could create 2 engines on your opponent's side of the field. If you take on Nilfgaard decks and they're running Assimilate, you could play a Duchess's Informant to get their Assimilate on your side of the field. So that's even more Assimilates for you, but you're kind of just going back and forth with that Assimilate. So there is that. 1 copy of Tourney Joust. Of course, you saw me make the change because I feel like we have decent removal and we have decent lock. So there's actually ways we can actually prevent our opposing units from being used at all on the battlefield. So that's actually one of the ways for it, which is pretty nice. It's also good to deal with any lingering hefty Helga decks that are still being used out there. There's not many, but there are still some. Next, we got the Ardfane Heavy Cavalry. Of course, it's just 1 extra 1 Assimilate. You could opt to go for the Ducal Guard to sort of protect from Sweers. Again, because if you're taking on a lot of Nilfgaard decks, you could opt to make the change from Ardfane Heavy Cavalry to Ducal Guard. And last but not least, a Van Morlehem Hunter, either for a lock or a bleed, depending on the situation. So this deck, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you have to really take a look at what cards you have in your hand, because there's just a lot of things going on with this deck that aren't really too related with each other. Like, the Witchers definitely do not go well with Assimilate at all, but I wanted to give the Witchers a try because I have not played them in a while. You could add in more Assimilate support because, in all honesty, you don't need that much lock for vattier. You just really need 1. So you could even opt to get rid of Letho and maybe keep Ox and Seret, potentially. So yeah, there is that. You can even get rid of Seret and keep Ox and Letho. You won't get the damage from Letho, but you will have the extra locks. So you can really play around with this deck. So yeah, that's sort of the deck list breakdown for the Seizing Locks deck, and I'll send you guys over to the gameplay. Okay, so we'll take on monsters here, see what we got. We do go second again. Petrie's Filter here is useless, we don't need it. We have 2 assimilates and 4 creates. It's a lot. 5 creates. We get rid of a create actually. I think my problem is like I'm trying to put too much into one, so that's also why this is probably an issue. Yeah, what can you do about this? Oh, really? Is that how dominance works? That's how dominance works? Really? I thought you needed to have another unit out in the field. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. He's not gonna have anything for me to purify anyway, so there's no point. Will we have natural selection? Probably. A Necker? That's interesting. I haven't seen a Necker in a while. Let's actually play our informant here. I'll take copies of those Neckers actually. We can have some fun. We'll have Thrive and Assimilate going on at the same time, which will be pretty cool. Now, if he's running a card like Lacerate, then we're gonna have a problem, but I hope not. The idea is I want to be able to set up Petri's Filter into Vattier, and hopefully, because it's actually Monsters is the perfect faction for me to test this. We could steal one of those. Yeah, we could steal it with Swears. With Swears, it does thin our deck out decently well, and it will boost our Neckers. So, and we'll have an extra Thrive unit, which isn't bad at all. I mean, we could even try and take it again. Yeah, we'll take another one, actually. Yeah, we are taking it kind of slow, but we're also setting up at the same time. So we have just as... Actually, we have one more boost than he does. Because we have to assimilate along with our Thrive units, which is pretty good. If you can get one of these boosted for me, that would be great. Ooh, Nilfgaard. Yikes, okay. That's fine. Ah, that's beautiful. Alright, Minnow, come do your thing. You're gonna go ahead and bring out Spheres for me. Yeah, that's a big time play. You could even Village of Fortune this Nilfgaard. If it gets up to 8 turn, that'll be best case scenario, but yeah, we'll see. That's fine. Yeah, so as long as he has that Wild Hunt Rider, actually, he gets off a lot of damage on this, which kind of sucks, but... what will our next play? Ooh, Wild Hunt Hound. Oh, okay. We could actually play Dazbog Moonstone next. Let's Imperial Diplomacy, extra Assimilate. Predatory Dive will do nothing. Wyvern, on the other hand, is not so bad here. A Colonizer. Oh, a lot. Probably Thrive units from like either 6 Thrive units or maybe... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We're actually pretty tight against monsters where we... Ooh, and Laret's Wrath. Ouch. That's big hurt. That's a big hurt. Problem is if he wins, he's gonna try and bleed, so let's actually just get rid of this card. At least if he opts to pass. Actually, next turn I might actually play Villager Forts. We still have Yennefer's Invo to take out, which we have to take out. Otherwise, we're gonna have problems. Oh, interesting. We could actually Villager Forts this. Wait, who did he get rid of? Oh, Caldwell? Interesting. Oh, that sucks, buddy. That sucks. That's pretty lucky, though. The fact that your top card was Osriel? Yikes. This could make him press the forfeit button, really. I wouldn't blame him if he forfeited. I will not blame you, buddy, if you forfeit, honestly. I won't blame him if he forfeits. That's just great. Alright, I'm happy with that result, actually. Now I actually need Yennefer Invo here. Okay, that's fine. Oh, perfect. So we have 3 chances to lock, although we don't probably need them all. Glynis? Glynis is gonna suck here. Yeah, no, Glynis actually sucks here because we didn't have a create before Cantarella. Well, because it is monsters, he's probably gonna try and... He's probably gonna bleed us. That's what monsters do best, is they love bleeding, so... Because they play such high units, but the thing is he doesn't have a finisher anymore because I got rid of his Osriel, so... We'll see what he does, but... Yeah, getting rid of that Osriel was actually pretty huge. That was pretty huge. Yeah, okay, he did pass. We could Cantarella to see what we pick up from him. I honestly even might want to play the Letho. We could Cantarella to see what we get from him. Ooh, we're just stealing units left and right over here. I mean, that's a yikes, I guess, but man, this guy's just getting unlucky. He's just unlucky. I feel kind of bad for him, at the same time I don't. Has he played both Indrega Larvas? No, he only played one. So he can still have another one. I kind of want Yennefer Invo. We didn't need him. We also don't need you anymore, but we'll play you anyway. If he does win Indrega Larva, we could lock it with Ox. But Letho also has the ability to lock and kill, so... I guess we'll just Letho. Yeah, we'll just guarantee ourselves a kill. We could have done a double lock, but, you know, it's okay. You know what I should do? Actually, I should have an extra poison to support the Moorland Cupbearer, but I feel like this deck is already so overloaded with like so many combos that it's only gonna do us more harm than good. Who is this? Boyat? Ah, April. Okay. I believe I've already used my Purifier. No, I have not. I have a Purifier over here. Actually, that was a pretty good Purifier. Actually, if we can tactical decision our bribery and then play Artorias, then we're pretty much set. Ooh, beast. We could lock. I don't think we need an extra assimilate, so. I mean, that's probably not the unit we end up stealing, but, you know, it's good to keep around, I suppose. Yeah, the only problem with this B is that Petri's Filter is actually a very slow card. Like, you're kind of playing it for nothing, and then like it's not till later on where you actually get so much value from this. So the thing is, I kind of want to take who he uses Force of Nature on, but you know it's unlikely. But we'll see. I'm not sure if he knows how Adrenaline Rush works. I feel bad for this guy, kind of. But kudos to him, he's not giving up. Oh, perfect. This is beautiful. If we get Osril, he is done. Of course we don't get Osril. That Striga looks nice. Even though we don't really have a target for it. If we do Weavis, I don't really want to eat any of my units. What's the third option? It's a Wild Hunt Hound. Yeah, no, I'll just take the Striga, actually. I don't really want to take this in case I want to steal it. Now, that actually just told him that I have a vattier in hand. So, yeah, that's, that kind of just told him a lot. Is he going to play Force of Nature right now? I would love it if he played... Oh, he played Force of Nature right now? That's insane. Does he play it right now, though? Huh. This is going to be an insane vattier, actually. It's going to be a very insane vattier. I could honestly, though, kudos to him for not forfeiting. I admire that. Ah, there we go. But yeah, no, this is sorry. Ouch. Oh, you might as well just forfeit. That was a major steal. I feel bad for this guy. Oh, cool, yeah. He's not giving up. That's props. Props for not giving up. But yeah, that's brutal. Alright, cool. Yeah, so like, against this is perfect against monsters because of their tendency to play really tall units. So, yeah, so the fact that their tendency to play tall units, I should say, is actually perfect. Okay, so we're taking on Nilfgaard. We never do well against Nilfgaard because it's such a meaty deck and they're so serious. Nilfgaard is just so serious all the time, you know? It's like they gotta calm down sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We don't need Petri's Filter. Yeah, it's not bad. A couple of we have 3 assimilates. We can maybe counter out something really good from them too. So we have our 3 Witchers already. That's really early. What do I start with? I don't have a decent starter, honestly. I could start with Artorias. Yeah, we can get our Archfane Heavy Cavalry. This is Soldiers, so he's bound to go semi-serious, if not very serious. Honestly though, like, it's gotten to the point now where it's like, if you see a leader ability, you can almost predict what kind of deck they run. Like, I mean, with me, with an ability like Tactical Decision, it's not the easiest to tell. Because like, it could be status, could be assimilate, could be soldiers, could be a mixture. But with Imperial Formation, you sort of already know. If it's double cross, you sort of already know. So that's fine. He still leaves me nothing to play with first. We could just Cantarella. Let's see what we can take from him. What? Thanks of the Empire? Now I'm curious to know what kind of deck this is. This deck has just piqued my interest. Okay, so I think we'll go back to Soldiers the way it should be. He opts to play a Recruit. Do we Menno a bribery? We could Menno a bribery. Yeah, let's Menno a bribery and see what happens. Do I have a soldier in hand? I do not. If I play Roderick, I risk... Actually, no. Roderick doesn't risk me anything here, actually. We can play Roderick. This Weir's? Actually, that's not so bad. But I mean, again, he still has soldiers available, so it's gonna be a problem. The fact that the Swears is a 9 for 8, like just base, is just absolutely disgusting. Alright, that's our Tourney Joust target. Imperial Formation, that can be a pretty brutal deck to deal with. We could play our own Duchess's Informant to probably play a recruit, so 17, 23, 26, 27, so we'll still be up by 10, which is nice. Cool. Royal Decree? Oh, is he gonna opt to play a big card here? Ooh, Fion's actually a pretty big card. Actually, the fact that he plays Fion early is actually pretty nice. That's actually really nice for me. Ah, of course. Perfect. He just gave me an opportunity to pass. He should have played 2 charges, to be honest. He should have played 2 charges. Okay, fair enough. But no, I was curious to what the heck a Poison Fang was doing in his deck. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think he should be running the Cupbearer. I mean, he could be, but it's like, why, right? So we got one of our 2 combos. We need that Petri's Filter. I don't really need both of these because I already have the 3 Witchers together. We can get rid of her, actually. I don't exactly want her here either, but oh my goodness. I'm lacking Create now. I don't have a lot of Create cards because I kind of used them already, so we can actually I kind of just want to dump Glynis. Actually, I might dump the Cup. Actually, no, I can't dump the Cupbearer knowing that he has a poison. So I actually will dump Glynis. Is that the best play to make? Now I'll actually dump the Cupbearer. I mean, I have to hope that I can still get one. I still have 3 creates, right? So it's like I still have some chances, but not a whole lot of chances. Yeah, getting this. Okay, so we have our combo here. Okay, this is good. Oh, perfect. That's actually perfect for us. I kind of able to get rid of this assassination because I feel like with the way Nilfgaard works, is we have plenty of chances to lock. The thing is still, he could spawn. He hasn't played either of his crossbowmen. That's the only concern I have. But at this point, I'm actually okay with keeping this hand. Yeah, I'll actually keep this. This is actually pretty decent. We'll start with Glynis. Glynis actually only becomes a 7. No, a 9. 9's not bad. We need to prepare for when Damien comes out. So we will go ahaid and save Letho for him. Nilfgaardian Knight. Oh, that's concerning. That's kind of concerning. The fact that he was just I mean, unless he probably just didn't have anything else to play. And had to play it at some point. I could play the Novice. If I play that extra Imperial Diviner, I mean, we'll have the extra create or assembly for the create. But in terms of actual create cards, we really only have one left, so I don't think it's worth it. So I think I'd opt to just play the Novice here. It is more power too. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I didn't need it, but it was good to know to see what was on top. So that's one of our potential options for. That's gonna be a problem. We haven't seen Swears from him yet. I mean, he's definitely gonna have a Swears. Like that's not even a question. But I guess with nothing for him to steal at the moment, there's really nothing for him to do, so... How about Pikeman? Okay. We could do this. We could play the Menagerie Keeper. None of these cards are kind of useful anymore. Wait, it's from the faction, not from the deck, right? We are ahead by quite a lot, so... Oh, oops, sorry. Oh, wait, was that a... Ugh, I wonder if people were seeing... Okay, you know what? Yikes. What's he protecting this thing for? Is that something worth protecting? Makes me wonder. There's a bribery. Too bad we can't steal special cards, huh? That's alright. We'll see. If it's something worth stealing, then we'll definitely take it. Ah, pity. He managed to find Vilgeforts from me. Alright, I'll go a little bit slow here with the Petrus Filter. I'm still waiting on Damien, to be honest. I don't know what the other... Oh, if he saw vattier as one of the two other cards, then I don't know if we're gonna be able... Oh. He kept a Bomb Heaver. This dude actually kept around a Bomb Heaver. That's insane. The fact that he kept around a Bomb Heaver actually makes vattier so useless now. We could Yennefer the Vilgeforts and just tactical decision and destroy the Nilfgaardian Knight. Just because I feel like there's really no sense anymore. But I swear if like a Damien comes out... Okay. Cool. I'll take the fun. I'll take a fun. Can't believe he kept the Bomb Heaver. That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect him to keep a Bomb Heaver, to be perfectly honest. Ooh, Roderick. This could actually help me out, potentially. This could potentially help me. Morale? Okay. That's fine. Could be keeping that double poison ready. Yikes. things up here a little bit. We'll actually play this. Oh, of course. Of course. Oh well. I think I can do about that. I mean, we're still ahead by a bit, but he has 2 abilities, and I haven't even seen Damien yet. I think he has Damien in his hand because the chances of him being in the deck are just kind of too low. I'm still surprised he kept the Bomb Heaver. Like, there was no indication that I was gonna have any, like, I don't know, but like, it's okay. I mean, it's people people get lucky. You just get lucky sometimes. You just get lucky. Stefan Skellen. Okay, well, I mean, he knows that. Oh, he knows that I have to play Vattier, right? Yeah, he knows. Yeah, that does suck. That does suck. I kind of have to hope it goes off. I mean, he's already tried bribery, so 2 war councils. Big yikes. Of course it's a Yennefer Invo. Oh well. Has he even played a card yet? He has. No, he hasn't. Well, my last card is absolute garbage, and this last card's pretty good, so... But I mean, it was hard. I mean, you just sometimes get really unlucky, so it is what it is, so... You know, nothing really you could do at that point. Yeah, oh well. He beats me by 4 points. Or 3 points, 3 points. Yeah, oh well. That was the game. Cool. So that's sort of the showcase for the Vattier deck. For the Vattier deck, as you guys can tell, it's another really bad deck. But you know what? I wanted to give the combo a try. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on it are, on any changes you guys would like to make, and let me know in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe for more Gwent content. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out. Catch you guys in the next one.